My name's Seth Todd. I go by Toad, but a lot of people who don't actually know me just know me as the Portland protest frog.
The Portland protest frog.
People like seeing it. You know, it brings a smile to people's faces, you know.
Seth had the idea.
You know, I like to say there's enough space to light a joint and smoke this in here, but
After he and his friends first attended a protest outside the ICE building back in June.
I learned that how they were handling their detainees and what they were doing, just not in Portland, but throughout the country.
Seth watched the nightly protests escalate.
And then at some point, it kind of got aggressive, and they started tear gassing us. Around the same time, I started wearing my frog costume to kind of just boost morale. You know, we were getting tear gassed quite often.
Is there any meaning behind the frog? Why choose a frog?
I just really like frogs.
Once inside the suit,
It's spicy in here.
Seth is reminded of protests past.
And it's really hard to spot clean tear gas out of a costume.
This viral video shows the moment a federal agent sprayed Seth.
I got maced in the frog hole in the air vent. It mainly stuck to my skin and stuff, but I don't really think it got picked up until like after I got pepper sprayed.
After that night, frogs quickly became a symbol of community resistance. Frogs are on posters downtown, on t-shirts, local shops now selling out of frog toys, and it was a main character at the October No Kings protest.
And people wearing frog hats, calling themselves the Frog Brigade, and I thought that was pretty dope.
It's even reached beyond the Portland pond. People now dress as frogs at ICE protests in major U.S. cities like LA and Chicago. Then came the rhetoric from the White House.
But take a look at Portland sometime. These are wild, these are crazy people, and they're trying to burn down buildings.
Giving Seth even more reason, he says, to put on his frog suit.
You know, Trump started putting out the narrative that we were violent, we were, you know, aggressive, and start rioting and burning the city down. And so I just started continuing to wear it as a way to combat, you know, that narrative. I mean, if people want to take that and make a meaning out of it, that's great. I just like frogs, and I thought it was pretty funny to wear a frog costume in front of a DHS agent.
Seth is going on 6 months, standing in costume outside the Portland ICE building.
Are you going to stop anytime soon?
No, I'm not gonna stop.
His form of protest,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Portland style,
People say I should put it in a museum
but not quite yet.
until we get what we want, and that's ice out of Portland.